All right. Well, we are back once again with Derek Hill of Advantage Mortgage. Derek, good to see you again. We're going to continue our
Good morning.
conversation about, well, thank you, sir. We talked about getting together with Craig Davis and really drilling down into our mission statement to make sure it reflected exactly, what you want this company to be and who we really are. And we came up with this thing that says helping mortgage professionals get back to doing what they love. And in some of these videos where we've talked about this, we've gotten really clear that that's just not some soft, warm, fuzzy idea of all being nice and friendly and cushy. It's about creating systems, creating organizational structure, and creating a platform to help people really execute at what they're good at and have people and systems around them to help them facilitate the rest of the execution that must happen so that they can do what they really love and what they're really good at. They can help themselves build a great career. They can help homeowners make one of the biggest financial decisions that they have to make without stress or frustration. They can help their referral partners have a reliable source for getting their buyers and transactions approved and all that fun stuff. So as we talk about what really works, the kind of people that really can be effective here at Advantage, we want to have a little bit of a conversation about this mindset approach. I love the thing you have right behind you. Mindset is everything. And we've talked about this before, but there's a difference between the transactional mindset and the mindset that says, this is not only my career, this is my business. And I'm building my business for today, but I'm also building my business sustainably for the future. Talk about what all of that means to you as a leader and then how that translates into what we look for in people we try to attract here to Advantage Mortgage.
Oh man, there's a lot to unpack there. You know, I think one of the things that we're really good at is helping people that want to grow, want to do more loans. I guess, yeah, more of that entrepreneurial spirit. Transactional loan officers, in my opinion, are the ones that they're more focused on how much they can possibly make on one individual loan than really what does the big picture look like. You
Right.
know, um, I've met a lot of loan officers that they get a loan in the door and they just have this I don't know what the best word is to use, but they get that loan in the door and they just want to protect it, and they're so worried about that thing funded that that's all they focus on, and they try to control every piece of it, and they need to make sure that it goes perfectly, which I totally understand. But at the same time, it debilitates them from actually growing and getting, let's say they get three or four in the door and they're so overwhelmed that they don't have time to focus on getting more business because they're so focused on those four loans that they can't get out of their own way. And we call that the loan officer commission roller coaster, right? You get four loans in the door, you fund those, and now the next month you don't have a commission because you're out there going and getting more loans. So it becomes this:
Yeah, it's far
get
too
loans in the door,
familiar in
do
this
them.
business.
Yeah, that's transactional. That's not entrepreneurial, or how do I create a system, right? And what we really try to do is get back to what you love. What do you love about the process? There are so many different process or parts of a mortgage. And what is it that you love about that? And maybe the part that you love is the support piece. And maybe it's okay for you to go, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be a loan officer. Maybe I should be an LOA.
Hmm.
And we've had other people. So I guess from once people come in the door, we kind of take a look at that, and we'll go, you know what, mate? We just had a loan officer move to an LOA position. And she's like, oh my gosh, I love this so much better. And we've had them flip flop. I've got a processor right now that's like, I want to go get it. I want to freaking get after it. I want to be an originator. She was a processor for us for 4 years. But the great thing is in our organization, we love people that have that mindset that what do I love to do? And you know what? We're going to support you in whatever that looks like. Does that make
So
sense?
in order to do what you love to do, you have to build structure around the things you don't love to do, or else you get caught doing them. And you can have that great month. Heck, you could close 6 loans this month and have a big fat paycheck. But if you're so preoccupied with those 6 loans that are closing this month, you're not making any money 2 months from now. because you got
Yeah.
nothing in the pipeline. You haven't been looking forward to what's next because you're preoccupied with doing everything, the things you love, the things you're
Yeah.
good at, and maybe the things you're not good at and the things you don't love.
Yeah. Most of the time when the loan officers that I've hired and worked with, the biggest piece is that trust.
Hmm.
So it's their loan, it's their name on the door or on the loan, it's their referral partners, and they want to protect it because they don't want anything to go wrong. But once they
Their
see that they can
reputation.
trust, we start putting people into place and they go, oh, okay, this person cares as much as I do, right? Because sometimes I've worked at companies where ops, it was almost like ops versus sales, and you didn't
Yep.
feel like there was a sense of urgency from ops, and you're like, you know, so you're so invested because it's your relationship. Well, we all get it, but I love working with people that are like, no, Derek, I want to build a business. How do I do that? What can I do? And that's where we shine. It's like, all right, here's how we do it. I set up a plan. You get to 5 loans a month, boom, we start throwing an LOA in there. And then we talk about how that works, right? And those are the people that really flourish when they can
Flourish.
trust and it becomes fun again because you don't feel like you have to do everything. You're gonna do what you love to do. I'm just if you wanted me to be an LOA, you would hate it. I'm an originator, right? I don't want anything to do with any of the process part. So we set that up. I work to my strengths, and then I hire people to fulfill my weaknesses, and that's what an the entrepreneurial mindset looks like. Now, does that mean you may have to give up a little bit in order to have that? Sure, maybe you have to give up a little compensation, but are you really giving it up?
Right.
Because you've heard the old adage, right? One person can lift 100 pounds, two people can lift 300 pounds, right?
Right.
So in the end, if I'm only doing 2 loans a month or 3 loans a month by myself, but now I can do 7 loans a month with another person, am I really giving up anything? No, you're
Of course
sharing,
not.
you're building that team. You know, I remember, so before I got into the mortgage business, I owned an auto detail business.
Right.
I got out of the military and I started an auto detail business and I was running um like crazy. I was working 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. And um I just I was running myself ragged and I knew I needed to hire a manager that could run my shop so that I could do some other things. But that meant is I had to give this guy, back then in 1994 or five, it was $3,500 a month, which was a big deal. That was coming right out of my pocket. So that was scary. It was really scary. I was like, man, I don't know. I hope I can do this. Well, the minute I did that, he took over so much of the duties that I was able to go start 2 other locations. So I went from doing, 50 cars a day to 150 cars a day. So did I give up anything? No, but it is scary. And you have to trust and you have to, believe and build the team and talk. And there's all these things. But those are the type of people that really work well within our system
Well,
is
you
the
talk about the tension
entrepreneur.
between ops and sales, and a lot of times that wasn't driven by ops who didn't care. It was driven by salespeople who didn't know how to communicate, didn't take the time to
Mm,
really bring their ops team along. And both sides were guilty at different times. But this entrepreneurial mindset, this building a lasting business concept versus if it's just a transaction, you don't care who you have to kill to get that loan closed, right? You don't care what relationship you have to ruin as long as they get your loan approved and you're done. You don't care if they like you.
yeah.
It's just a
Oh,
transaction. Heck, you don't even really care if the realtor likes you. You just want that commission check. But when you think I'm building a business, you can't think like that and succeed, at least not very effectively. And so it changes the
right.
way you talk with your own team. It changes the way you think about your teammates. And it certainly changes the way you think about your client and the referral partner and everybody in the food chain because you're now thinking, if I want a sustainable business, these are my teammates. These are the people going to help me scale from 3 loans a month to 10 loans a month or 7 loans a month or whatever the goal is. And without them, I'm back to doing 2 or 3 a month. And that mindset is so powerful and frankly, not as rare as you might think, but sometimes it has to be learned. It's not necessarily intrinsic for people that come from environments where there is just that adversarial relationship, right?
Hmm. Well, the great thing is we have a bunch of different loan officers that we've helped build teams. And so we've got the proof is in the pudding. I
Yep.
can give you 6 examples of people that were doing X amount and now they're doing this. And it's all because we put the right seats in the bus. And that's one of my superpowers. It really is putting right seats in the bus. And then it's like, oh man, the magic. It's awesome when everybody's in the same mindset, everybody's, going, and there isn't any kind of friction. It's just, yeah, we all want to freaking win. It's really fun. We're having fun. We really
Well,
are.
we're going to continue having fun as kind of getting back to what you love, right? Getting back to what you love in the mortgage business. And we're going to continue these conversations about getting back to that and having fun and creating an environment that people hopefully are attracted to. People that are like-minded, at least, are attracted to. So thanks again, Derek, for taking the time. More to come in the future.
All right, great. Craig, Kurt. Thank you.